Hello everyone, long time no see. It has probably been another week at least since I last picked you up. So the last time I spoke to you all was just before we went away. So we've been away over the weekend to Italy for my sister's wedding, which was just absolutely unreal. But we're back to reality now. We're back to the hellhole that is our house. But the builders have basically like finished their bit now. So if you didn't know, we just got the shell done by the builders. So they've literally just done like the brick shell, the building itself, and it's now up to us to sort out the electrics, the plumbing, the insulation, the plasterboarding, all of that stuff. But I thought I would just pick you up today. We've been back a couple of days. It was Louie's birthday yesterday, so we were just sort of trying to get ourselves sorted and unpacked a little bit, and I'm still just finishing that off today. But we're at the house. We've been sort of switching between here and like Louie's mum's and stuff because we don't have a washing machine or anything, and like we can't really eat or drink anything here anymore. So yeah, we're both at the house today. Louie's got the next 5 days off work, so he is going to try and get as much of the electrics done as he can. He's an electrician, if you didn't know that already. So I'll get him to sort of like explain what he's doing, and I'll go down and show you where we're up to. I'm just trying to have a little bit of a tidy round now that the builders are gone. That's like a massive relief, because obviously when they were here it was just like the house wasn't ours, it was just a house full of builders, and we were literally just stuck in this bedroom up here. So now that like the builders are sort of out of the way, we can start to just try and organise things a little bit. But we're having, I think our plumber is coming tomorrow hopefully to rip out the back boiler. I'll show you where the back boiler is downstairs, but it's basically behind the gas fire in the living room. And if you've watched all of our previous like renovation vlogs and everything, then you'll have seen that obviously the living room is the only room really that we haven't touched, so that's basically full of all of our stuff. So before that back boiler can come out, we basically need to empty that living room and move like our sofa and everything somewhere else. That's probably the hardest part. Well, not the hardest part, living here has probably been the hardest part, but one of the worst things is just having to move everything from room to room. Like even in our previous renovation vlogs, all we do is just move stuff from one room to another. We might even have to move everything from upstairs like downstairs at some point, depending on like the electrics and the pipes and whether the floorboards are going to have to be pulled up upstairs. But that's a different issue for a different day. So yeah, Libby's working on the electrics today, and I'm just gonna unpack some of our things. I've taken the bedding off. I'm going to take that to somebody else's house to wash the bedding and just try and like sort things out a little bit, because definitely just before we went away everything was just a bit of a rush, and we just, I think, just didn't really have time to like care about the state of anything, because it's so bad. We've just sort of let the house like get worse and worse and worse. So yeah, I'm just trying to sort things out a little bit. But yeah, I'll go downstairs and basically show you our new house, and I'll wait until Louis gets back probably and get him to explain sort of what it is that he's doing, because I don't have a clue. So I'll start off up here. This is the current situation in the bathroom. I've just resigned myself to the fact that we can no longer use the shower. I can't do it, it's absolutely awful. We've got the bin in here because when we got home from Italy there was something rotting away in there and it absolutely stunk. So the bin's been all washed and cleaned. We've got this window in the bathroom that's been put in. So this is obviously being put here because this was the original window. Hello. But eventually this whole wall here will get knocked down, not for a long time, but that is the plan in the future. And obviously this window now goes through like into the extension, so if we didn't put this window in, technically we wouldn't have had like a window outside in this room, if that makes any sense. So yeah, this is all a little bit of a mess, like all the insulation is just like in the bath and all over the place. So hopefully we can get this maybe sort of neatened up a little bit when like the plasterer comes. And obviously my plan in here, because unfortunately we can't get a new bathroom for quite a long time, I'm just gonna rip all of the wallpaper off, sand the ceiling, paint everywhere. I think we are going to have to try and get a new bath because I don't know how long it's going to be until we can completely do this bathroom, but I know it's going to be probably a couple of years, and I can't cope with this for a couple of years. So I think we're just going to have to try and get a new bath and then just sort of clean everything else up if I can. But that's obviously a job for when all of the other big jobs are done. So then obviously this is the doorway into what will be our bedroom. So again, this is what I mean by obviously the builders just doing the shell. So this is just how this room is going to be left, and then like Louis can do the first fix electrics. We're going to need plumbing over this end because where this wall is here, we'll build just a stud wall right across, and sort of to there will be the ensuite just like in the corner, and this is the wall that will eventually get knocked down and we'll extend that main bathroom to about here. So the bathrooms will basically be like sat next to each other, the main bathroom and the ensuite, but there'll obviously be like a door sort of here into the ensuite, and it'll just be like a little square ensuite. So yeah, this will be our master bedroom. However, we won't be doing anything with this room for a long time, so I don't even think we're gonna plasterboard it or anything. We'll probably do first fix electrics and plumbing if we can, but this room is probably going to be bottom of our priority list, obviously because we've still got the other 3 bedrooms that are an absolute mess at the moment, but we don't actually need this room anytime soon. We just obviously we will want it in the future. The whole point is that we plan to like stay in this house forever, so it's very much like a future project in here. But we just decided to get the actual build done now, otherwise it would have cost us more in the future. But I think for this room we will probably just get a door put on here, shut that door and deal with that room in a few years time once the actual essentials are done, like the kitchen and the bathrooms and things like that. So yeah, that's the upstairs extension, and then down the stairs. So this was another issue we had. I won't bore you too much because none of it really makes much sense to me, but we've basically had to run a new like water mains pipe that went underneath the floorboards here, basically because we will be moving the kitchen sink. So obviously you've got like your stopcock and sometimes like your water meter. I think we had a water meter underneath our old sink, and basically just all the pipes that you have underneath the sink, ours needs moving. Plus, because we're adding bathrooms and things like that, our plumber did say that the water pressure might be a bit rubbish if we don't run a new pipe. So we basically had to run a new pipe underneath like the house and right out onto the front and into like the water mains. So that's another issue, but we basically had to move like the shoe cabinet here, pull up some of the floorboards, and let me show you the step outside because this is the current situation underneath this board. I don't really know whether you can see, so that blue pipe there, that is the new like water pipe. So yeah, definitely just something to be aware of if you're planning on moving your kitchen sink or doing an extension or anything, because that was a surprise to me. So then obviously this is the living room here. So yeah, this is literally pretty much like full to the brim of all of our things, and the back boiler is behind this fire here, which obviously means that everything in here, the fridge, the sofas, I think like everything is going to have to come out of here so the plumber can actually do what he needs to do behind that fire. And that's probably all going to need doing today because the plumber is meant to be coming tomorrow. So that's today's job for later on probably. Then obviously I'll go back into here actually. So then this is the main room. So you can get a little bit of a better idea now that these stud walls, obviously the plaster board hasn't gone on yet, but this is where the kitchen will run like in front of this wall here, and then right down this back wall underneath this window, and then the island will be in the middle. So basically this will be a little walkway, and when you turn left there'll be a door into the downstairs toilet. So this is just a long skinny downstairs toilet, and this basically separates the kitchen and this front room bit. We probably won't do anything with this front room for a long time either, like we won't actually turn it into anything for a while. We might just use it for storage to start with, and then yeah, we've got it in the future for when we need it. So this is what I mean about all of the pipes and everything. So this is where our kitchen sink was, and we're moving it over there. So that blue pipe that was all curled up at the front door that I've just showed you, this runs, I think it runs underneath here and then like out the front of the house. I'm not really sure, that none of that really made much sense to me, but it's there anyways and it's in, so that's good. Obviously all the floors being laid and like leveled, but we are going to have to do another layer of some sort of like compound, I think it is, that you just pour over the floor to obviously level it all off and make sure that any like little scuffs are covered and it's all level before we lay our flooring, which is over there. I can't wait for that to be down. And utilities just looking the same I think as when I last showed you this. So this will be a doorway, and then along the right hand side here will be like all of our cabinets and a sink and stuff. And we're waiting for a side door and the bifold doors and windows. So we did try to reuse as many windows as we could, so we reused this kitchen one and this one at the front as well. But we always knew that there was a chance that we would just have to get new windows. So I think I might have showed you this, but this one does have a little crack in it. And the one at the front and the one that we had bought for the bedroom upstairs weren't fire escape windows, and that's part of the building regulations. So unfortunately we are having to basically buy new windows instead of just reusing the ones that like the existing ones. But that was something that we were sort of prepared for. We just thought we would try and reuse if we could, but that's not really been a possibility. So yeah, that's the situation with the windows. This bit here is a little bit of a shame as well, because ideally we wanted to get rid of this post that sticks out a little bit, but as you can see the beam is actually like sitting on that brickwork, so unfortunately it can't be any like smaller. But that is where we will be putting a log burner in the future. Again, that won't be happening anytime soon, but we do plan on putting a log burner like centered to this bit of wall here, which is obviously basically right where that bit is, so that it just means the log burner is going to have to sit in front of this column, because I don't really want the log burner off-centered or like in the corner or anything. I've sort of planned this area with like a coffee table in the middle, a sofa, some accent chairs, and the log burner to be in the centre. So yeah, we'll just have to see what we can do with that, and hopefully it won't stick out too much. But yeah, we've got our vaulted roof here, so we've got 3 Velux windows right along, and then obviously from where that white door starts to there is going to be bifolds, so it should be nice and bright in this back room. This pipe here is obviously a job for the plumber. I don't know whether that's our waste pipe maybe. It goes up to like where the bathroom is upstairs, so I think the plumber is possibly going to try and he was going to try and run it inside the beam so that then we could just plaster over the beam, but I think he might just have to run it just above, and we'll just have to bring the plasterboard out a little bit just to cover that pipe, so that it's obviously not unsure or anything. It'll just get boxed in, and then that'll go out that side wall down, and the drainage is along that side of the house. God, I've never talked so much in my life. So yeah, Louis has started over here, this floor. They did say that it might be still drying for the next week, but yeah, Louis just, I don't know, running the cables for plug sockets, I'm guessing, at the moment. He's just gone to Screwfix to pick up some more bits that he needs, so when he gets back I'll ask him exactly what he's doing. But yeah, that's the update for now, I think. Hopefully over these next few days or the next week maybe, I'll be able to give you some updates on how the electrics and the plumbing and everything is going. Do you want to explain what you're doing? Because I don't know.
Now we put the containment up, pulling the cables in for the first fix.
What, the cable for what, plug sockets?
Just for the socket, yeah, so we can never have too many, so we've got 5 in this little...
Are you going off my plan?
No. Okay.
What, so you're just making it up as you go along?
No, I just want 2 there. Obviously I've left room for the cupboard and 1 for the TV there. I think maybe I went through, well, into the hallway in the front room after.
Hello everybody, I hope you're all doing well. At the house again today. I don't know when I last updated you. I never seem to know what's going on in these videos, but 2 seconds. I'm gonna set myself on the stairs. It's absolutely boiling again. It's like 30 degrees. So I've just came to the house this morning. I don't know whether I've updated you for the past few days. We've actually moved out now and we're living with Louis' mum, just because obviously I think I've showed you like the state of the house, but now like the electrics, the first fix electrics and plumbing has started or like is well underway. It's like floorboards up, we have got cold water, but it's just, it got to the point where it was impossible to live here. I was like determined to stay here throughout. I wasn't planning on moving out, but after we got back from my sister's wedding in Italy and we had like 3 suitcases to unpack, no washing machine, and yeah, I was just like, no, we can't do this. Yeah, we're staying at Louise' mum's, which is literally just 2 minutes around the corner, so it's ideal really. But I've came to the house this morning because I'm going to start scraping the wallpaper off the bathroom walls, I think. So I've got a few things to update you on. I'll give you a little bit of an update of like the extension, the electrics and stuff, how that's all looking. It's probably not very interesting, to be honest, but the plumber, I think, is aiming to be finished his like first fix on Saturday, and it's currently Thursday. But yeah, he should hopefully be finished by Saturday, and then Louis is almost finished the wiring for the lights, but I think he still needs to do plug sockets, so he's like a couple of weeks off finishing, but that's fine. And then once that's done, we can basically just get the boarding and the plastering done, which I'm so excited for. That'll make a massive difference. And then I feel like once that's done, and hopefully once our new bath is in, little update on the bathroom, then we can look at moving back in. Because I'm just desperate to like get back in, even though it has been really, really nice being at Louise' mum's and just being able to like have a nice shower and like get up and make a drink and just all the things that like we couldn't do here. And for Nelson as well, Nelson wasn't coping well, I don't think, with like just losing everything. Obviously he didn't have a garden, and then he gradually just lost every room in the house until all 3 of us were living out of our bedroom basically. And then we obviously went to Italy, so he went to stay with somebody else for a few days and like had the time of his life. But I think all like the change has just unsettled him a bit, so then he was off his food and he wasn't really eating, so he's a little bit more back to himself now that we're at Louise' mum. She's got a nice big garden that he can run around in, and he gets spoilt. Anyway, I'll give you a little update downstairs first because there's probably not really that much like to show. Just ignore all of this. I've been looking for the wallpaper scraper. So yeah, this is obviously like the kitchen, dining, living, back room. So this is sort of where Louis got up to with the wiring, I think. So he now needs to sort of continue into the living room, which I think is, he keeps saying that's going to be sort of like the hardest part, but obviously the living room is like full of stuff, so we're potentially going to have to move all of that like forward at least so he can get to this back wall. And all of these white pipes here are the plumbers, and then all the grey cable is what Louis been doing for the lights. So these are all like spotlights that are going here. We're having a pendant light here which will be over the dining table, and then spotlights over here. This is obviously where the kitchen will be, but then we're having 2 pendants above the island, which is annoying. Ideally I wanted 3, but because of this beam, the island is going to sit like right underneath sort of a little bit of this beam. It's quite hard to explain, but basically getting 3 pendant lights in centered above the island would have just meant that they were all like squished up. So we've just gone with 2, and then spotlights like around the rest of the kitchen. The window man has just messaged me to say the bifold doors are ready. The blinds for like inside the bifold are due any day now, and he's going to chase up the windows because we're replacing that front window, this back window, and the bedroom window upstairs. So that's good. It'll be better once they go in. So yeah, these are just some of the pipes and the cables. So yeah, nothing like much visually, but things are progressing in this room. So I'll take you upstairs and give you a little update. So we basically, I'd spoken to our plumber the other day and asked him how easy, basically just how easy it would be to like replace the bath, because I'm sure if you've seen any of my previous videos you'll have seen the bath, and the bathroom is probably one of the worst rooms in the house. But it's going to be quite a while until we can completely rip this bathroom out and put a new one in. So I think I have explained this before, but basically this wall here with this window on is getting knocked down and we're extending this bathroom. But that just means that obviously we're going to have to get the builders back in to knock the wall down. This was the external wall, so we're probably going to need some sort of like support beam put in, and yeah, it's just going to be quite a big job. So obviously we're going to have to do all of that all at once, rip all of this bathroom out, knock the wall down, and then get a new bathroom in. But that's definitely not something that we can do anytime soon. So we basically need to make the best of this bathroom, and the main thing for me was getting a new bath. I just can't live with this bath for like the next few years. If it was, obviously we've managed for the past, I don't know, 8 months or whatever, 7-8 months that we've lived here, but yeah, I just can't do it anymore. So the plumber had said, yeah, that's fine, like we can just put a new bath in. He sounded like it was pretty straightforward. And I'd also asked him if we could basically swap the end of the bath. So the taps are currently at this end of the bath, but the shower is on this side, but then the actual shower head is on this wall. So it's all just a bit all over the place. They've obviously put this shower in. This is an electric shower. They've obviously put this in like much later on, but it basically just means because the bath doesn't run from that wall to that wall, it stops there. So as you can see, they've literally just put a bit of wood to sort of fill that gap. That's not sealed or anything, hence why we've had this bit of glass over it, because all the water just drips down the side. So I'd basically asked the plumber, if we're replacing the bath anyways, how easy is it to just put the taps at this end, put the new bath in right up to this wall, so that then like we can have a shower normally, because we have to stand like right as far up as we can to actually be underneath the shower. But then it just means that all the water splashes onto this wooden bit. It was all just a bit of a nightmare. So the plumber said that's absolutely fine. He can just like swap the tap to that end. Obviously all the ceiling underneath is off at the moment, so he's got access to the pipes quite easily. So that's what we're going to do. He's going to move the taps to this end. We're going to put the new bath in right up to this wall, which will mean that we'll have a gap at this end, but there won't really be any water down that end. We'll obviously have a shower and everything at this end. So we'll do a similar thing, and we'll probably just box that gap in, but we'll properly seal it and stuff. So then my plan is to just get Louis to tile up this wall, and then tile this wall around the window, and then to be honest we can probably just leave this wall at the back here, because like I say, there won't really be any water or anything at that end. So I'm hoping that we can sort of do it all up for about £200 hopefully. So I basically went on Facebook Marketplace, and I don't know about anybody else, but once I like start on Facebook Marketplace, I just become obsessed. Like, it's such a obsession. Once you get something for a decent price, you're like, oh my god, like what else can I get? So basically I got a new bath. So this obviously is off Facebook Marketplace. So we got the bath and the side panel for £100, and it was basically just one that was ordered, and I think they'd ordered the wrong size or it didn't fit or something. So it's never been used. It's a brand new bath. He sent me like the links and everything of where he'd got it. So I think the bath itself was worth about £210, and then the side panel was an extra 60. So we got it all for £100, which is brilliant. We also got a towel radiator in like an anthracite grey colour, and the valves for £40. So straight away that's £140 for new bath, new radiator. And then we need tiles. So I've had a look on B&Q just to see what like the cheapest tiles are. So you can get a pack of 10 tiles for £10, and I don't know, we might need 5 packs or something. I'm hoping that we can just keep the floor, because the floor isn't too bad really, it does the job. So yeah, that's my plan anyway. I am also going to need some new taps. So again, I was trawling through Facebook Marketplace last night, and there was some taps, like a bath tap for, I saw one for £30, and I think I might also get some new taps for the sink. But I did just have a look on Screwfix, and you can literally get 2 new taps for £12. So yeah, maybe sort of like £200, £250 I'm hoping that we can completely transform this bathroom. I'm obviously going to take all this wallpaper off, and then I'll just paint the walls, like no matter what state they're in, to be honest. Like anything is better than this. But yeah, as long as like we've just got a decent bath and everything, I feel like I can cope. So yeah, that's the plan with the bathroom anyways. So that's why I'm here today. It is, like I said, literally about 30 degrees today, but I just sort of feel like I'm wasting time if I don't come and do something. I work term time, so I'm off at the moment. Yeah, I just thought let's power through, get the windows open, or maybe I should keep the windows shut, to be honest, otherwise I'll just let all the heat in. But yeah, basically I'm gonna do some wallpaper scraping. I can't find my wallpaper scraper, so I either need to go to the shop or use this that I found, which will probably do the job. I've got the steamer, which is just gonna get so hot in here, but if I use the wallpaper steamer, I'll probably be done in like a couple of hours. So that's my plan.